Coffee and Chaos. I'm Alina, your host. Tom's back. Hello.
Hello.
How's that espresso kicking in?
Oh, it's all right.
I spilled coffee all over my shirt before I got here. I
haven't drank too much of it. We'll wait till we get started and get it going.
And we brought Yaya back.
Hi, guys. I'm back.
Yaya, are you on your phone over there?
No, I'm not.
Ooh,
Hell.
You
No,
didn't
I'm not.
See, you didn't see my Instagram post today about how Tom don't like people on their phones when they're all like,
You
yeah,
didn't?
you didn't see it.
But
That's
John
for you.
Women because we can multitash.
That's what
Oh,
I.
that's what I said.
I'm
No.
over here.
You
I
can't
can
do
hear
it.
everything.
We're Latinas.
You got to
we
do it
can
one at a time
multitask.
to do it 100. You can't be multitasking and not do
So
it.
they're not in his head already. Just agreeing with
Solomon,
us.
what do you have to say about all that?
Oh, she got the tone from me.
Well, we have a special guest, and I absolutely adore this person. And our grandparents, is it your great grandpa or your grandpa?
Grandpa.
It's your grandpa, right? So our grandparents are brother and sister, which would make our parents first cousins, which makes us cousins.
Cousins down.
Just we're
Your cousins.
yeah, we're family.
1, 2, 3, 4. It don't
Yeah.
matter.
I can't put the camera on until you say his name.
Oh, my bad. So I brought my little cousin Nick, and I admire you so much. You're such an amazing father. You're a hardworking man. We'll get into everything else, but brought all of you on, and I thought long and hard about this one because it's June, and this is kind of how we really got started last year. Remember, Tom?
Yeah.
Men's mental health. And I will say, when I had the episode last week about women, a lot of men were disturbed, which disturbed me because we are so pro men on this show. I think I have more.
Not that day.
Oh, whoa. See, and
Yeah.
he was one of them. He was one of the phone calls I got.
Yeah.
And my point was, as women, like, I felt we needed to have our word. We needed to say something because it's always men, 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 men. And I got phone calls, inboxes like, oh, you guys are feminists. I was like, wait, what? I was like, just because we have an opinion, we're feminist? And I was like, no, we're not. And I said, don't worry. Next week will be all about you guys again. You freaking men that need your attention.
Yeah. Yeah, but you said in it like, we talk like how great the men are, like in all the other podcasts, you know.
We
like
do
we're all
talk-
pumping them. Well, I don't know.
I try to understand you guys because I even said something to
I'm
somebody
not trying to say how great I am and all the podcasts. That's
well,
what you
that
said.
one, I was just trying to say that women are strong, and behind a lot of strong men is a strong woman pushing them to be better. Not always, but usually. And that was my point. And you don't believe that.
I make, when I'm producing these episodes, I always put like a little nickname for each episode, but that was totally the man bashing episode.
Well, let me ask my little cousin,
Yeah.
Nick, because your mom, who I absolutely adore, is the single mom for the most part. Let's be real.
Mhm.
She's badass. You
Yeah.
don't you're gonna tell me she's not a strong woman, and no matter who she would have been married to, she would have been that woman because she pushed you and your brother.
Yeah. No, she's strong. Sometimes a little bit too strong. So I think that's why, she's the way she is. But I mean, she had to. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I think some men need that strong woman to push her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some guys don't. Some guys just need have backing. But some guys do need that. I know you can do it. You might not, have confidence in yourself, but you do need that sometimes.
Yeah.
Certain guys do. You know what I mean? So
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And we'll go into our topic then on men's mental health. And women have friends, they have sisters, they have moms. It used to be the old thing like hide your crazy, like don't let the people outside of your house see you're crazy, as far as women. But men, mental health for men has just become more popular, has become more normal, where you could talk about it, where you could express it, where years ago you couldn't before. And I feel that, as we were talking earlier, I felt like men hit their wives, they drank, they cheated. And not all men are like this. I'm just saying men that weren't able to express themselves, that pushed everything in, and that was their way of letting out a lot of hurt and pain and not realizing that.
Could be.
Oh, you're saying, I thought you were going to be like, no.
Yeah, could be.
Because 50 years ago, men would never talk about anything. Do you guys talk about it now? Do you guys talk to your friends? Do you open up to your friends? You've been through a lot, Nick. You've been through a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I talk about it. I talk about it with my friends. I probably wouldn't be. I'm not open necessarily to talk about it with my girl. Everything.
But did this just start, or is it something you've always like been able to express yourself and
I've always
like to
been
your
able to
friends?
express
Like you're able
myself.
to just call your friend and say like, "Hey, I'm going through this," or "I'm not going through this,"
I
or
don't really call my friends and try to reach out and go tell them. I mean, my roommate, because like we're good buddies and he's right there. But I'm not gonna go like dumping like, hey, let me start. I'm feeling this and I need somebody to talk to. I'm gonna go down the list. But if your friends are just reaching out, hey, what's up, man? What are you doing? How you been? I ain't heard from you.
I think it's
What's going
certain
on with
people
you?
too, certain friends.
Yeah, certain people that are, like my friend Larry will say, like they have top clearance. There's only certain people that got top clearance, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna let everything out. Like, hey, you ain't at that level. You ain't got top clearance. I'm not telling you everything.
Like your MySpace top 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
about a handful of people that you go ahead and you like, that they know you. You have friends and then you have like your boys. So if you go and you have like 2-3 guys that they know what you've been through. You could tell them.
But they're not
anything
going to
doesn't
say
come out.
anything. to
No,
anybody
exactly.
either. They're
Nothing's
going
come
to
out.
keep whatever you say between you. They ain't judging you on
Open-minded,
your shit.
bro. They're not going to be
Right.
like, some guys haven't been through the stuff that maybe we, so they can't relate. So they'll
Right.
be like,
Right.
oh, like, don't be weak or don't do this or that. You never been through it. So how are you going to say,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe if you went through it, you'd be balled up. You wouldn't even know how to act.
Right.
Might be calling me crying. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's true.
it just, I think it varies.
And what if your friend did call you crying because he was getting a divorce? Like, because if Yaya was getting divorced, God forbid she's not, but she was called me crying, I'm like, I got you. What do you need? Women are different. Are men like that for each other, or what are like? Because I think that if your boy called you crying, would you kind of be like,
That
"Suck
would
it
be
up,
a
butter."
shock.
Yeah.
That would be a shock, but I mean, obviously he's pretty fucked up, and maybe, man, and I said this in the podcast before, like my nephew ended up killing himself because my nephew was going through shit like way back, and so you don't know the severity, like where they're at. They lost all hope. They're just freaking like on the border, like, and so if you just bypass that and you don't address that and be like, hey man, I need to go fucking hang out with my boy right now. Like I'm gonna call off work, whatever it is. Like at that point, like
With your nephew passing, do you think that made you more vocal? Like you're able to communicate better because you want to make sure your friends, your kids.
I want to make sure,
Yeah.
for sure. I don't know if it necessarily. I mean, I've been always pretty vocal. I've always been like a mentor, role model to my other nephews and to other younger men. But yeah, this definitely gives you more of a reason, right? To reach out with that happening, and because I don't want to see that happen to nobody else.
I just feel like it was never a topic. Men didn't express their feelings, especially in the Latino culture. We don't. I mean, your husband isn't very emotional and like let it out. And if he's worried that we got this house payment and high school tuition, like he's not going to come to you and tell you he's stressed out or worried about. Can you feel it though? Can you see his emotions? Do you know how to read them?
yes.
And do you?
Well, because you kind of learn to adjust to like their way, kind of like what like okay, yes, I know he's gonna go to work and I know I'm gonna have his paycheck by Thursday. Now I know what I got to do on my end. You know what I mean? So when he comes home and it's like the first of the month and it's like, dude, I just worked and everything's gone already. But next week it's like back in there because everything got paid.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like, but he doesn't know anything. Like he doesn't know what goes out, what goes in, where it goes, or anything.
Traditional. I work. Here's the money.
And
You handle the house.
yes.
Okay.
So if he gets stressed out, or if he's stressed out, do I know? Yes, you can totally tell.
And what do you do when he is? Because like a lot of women don't have the sympathy for men that because you're supposed to be a man, right? You're supposed to suck it up. You're not supposed to show emotion. So do you? I don't know what the word is. Not tiptoe
So
around
it's kind of
it.
it's kind of hard because it's like with men, not every man. I'm not saying like every man, but with my husband, it's kind of like not walking on eggshells, but you just don't know how you're gonna approach the situation because how stressed is he or how like, what is he going through?
Yeah.
Like, I kind of have to like sit back and think like, dude, he's a provider. Like, he's the one bringing everything to the table.
You know him though, like you know him, so you know how to react or how to go forward with it.
Yes.
Because of how long you've been with them,
Exactly.
and you've
Yes.
already been tested in other situations as it went on, and saw the way he's reacted to
Yeah.
certain things. So you've been able to have a thermometer on him, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have,
that's
you have a
a
little
good
You
way.
got a
gauge.
gauge
Yeah.
going on
So it's
right
like
here.
you
Yeah.
can't just come home and say
Yeah.
like you too. For example, like you guys, you don't go out to work today. Let's just say, you know.
Mhm.
So you're not gonna obviously get paid for today,
Mhm.
right? And you're not gonna come home and say like, oh, by the way, I gotta pay freaking this payment or that payment after knowing he didn't go out to work.
Mhm.
You know, like you kind of
Yeah.
have to learn how to balance all of that because it's hard on
Or
them.
when to say it, yeah.
Go
When to
ahead.
say certain things. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I'm
what
saying.
you
So
gonna say?
maybe-
you can see, hey, we're in a good mood, right? When we're
Yeah.
talking, he's feeling good.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, we got this,
This is
going
going on.
Yeah.
There
Or
you
maybe
go.
the first time they went through something like
Ah.
that, like say, and then you reacted a certain way, or you, and then it would like bit you, and you're like, oh, that ain't happening.
You gotta
You know,
learn- Yeah.
exactly.
Learn from
Big
it,
time,
and
you know?
you have to readjust to it. So next time I'm gonna approach it like this, or I'm not gonna approach it, and I'm gonna figure it out.
But do you think
know?
that we as women, as a whole, not individuals, like women as a whole, especially now in 2024, that women understand that, or women realize that? And I don't want to say it's catering, but like I'll use you for an example, or Nick, you like with your wife now, like when you come home and let's say you didn't get work because work's slow, does she then go shopping, or like what you were saying, or does she say, you know what, I'm gonna just leave it in for the weekend, like let's.
Mm,
Because I feel like most women are like, oh, well, get over it. Go figure out money. Like, I need this. I
No.
need that. Like,
no, my wife, she's great when it comes in all aspects, but when it comes to that, because she kind of knows. Like sometimes I'll be like, if say if I didn't get work that day, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and buy that whatever the toy I was gonna get the baby or whatever it is. She's like, no, we'll get it next week. Like, don't worry,
Yeah.
you didn't get out. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's no problem. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But like, like y'all was saying, like she knows like if I come home and maybe like I didn't get work right, I'm quieter, or I'm this or that. So she kind of is not tiptoeing, but you kind of know how to move. Like, or I got a good one on the lash or something like that. I'll come home and she's like, all right, like,
Yeah.
it's good. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you know your partner.
Yeah.
So you know how to move, you know how
so
to react.
She is
say
your
things.
partner, because you guys have only
Yeah.
been married how many years?
So we're going over a year and some.
How long have you guys
Going on.
been together?
Been together what, 3 years, 2 years?
So it's still fairly new.
yeah.
So it like Tom always says, like you tell them something and then they throw it back in your face later. So
Mhm.
what did you say about trust? Like, there's levels of trust,
Well,
right?
yeah.
And do
I-
you feel comfortable enough to talk to her, to let it
Oh, yeah.
out? Like,
Yeah, like we're with her, it's just like having another homie, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
me and her, like we gel so well that there's nothing that I won't like really. I mean, you have your boys, like you obviously I'm not gonna
Yeah.
speak to her some things with the boys, but like I could talk to her about anything. Like, that's like my partner. We go through
Yeah.
everything I go through, she goes through. That's because, you know, like ride or die, bad boys for life, you know, type stuff, you
Yeah.
know? So like you said, it's when you're going through things, your partner should know. If you guys have that connection, or they should know how to move. Same thing with her.
But there's levels of, like, as you getting to know each other, and as stages in your relationship and length in the relationship,
Mhm.
that you'll give them a little piece of you and maybe disclose something. And depending on how she acts and what she does with and how she protects you on that,
Mhm.
then you'll give her more.
Yeah.
So like if I opened up and I'm vulnerable now, right? And I open up a little bit, and I only been into it for a year and a half, right? But I open up and she's 100, man. She supports me. She don't throw it back in my face. She does all these things. And you know, it's like she got an A on the report card,
Yep.
right? So now the next time, like a couple years go by, now you're into it for 5 years, and she gets another A, and right, and she's doing great. Then the more you'll be willing to be like, hey, now you see some marriages that are 25. Yeah, I already went through this, and this. I knew how to react.
She got thrown
So-
to the fire, like from the
Right.
get-go. Like she was with me through the
Right.
past and the present,
she
and
kind
boom.
of proved herself.
Oh yeah, like I tell her she's crazy all the time. Like, you're crazy. Yeah, you got with me and all my stuff that I go. Oh, you're crazy. You're nuts. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I couldn't say I would be the same like if it was reversed. Like, and
Yeah.
like me and her talk like we were real. Like
Yeah.
when you go through certain things,
Yep.
you're real with each other, and like so I can talk to her about
Yeah.
almost everything. Like, you know.
Yeah. But I wonder, because women, like we are so, we jump in a relationship and it's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. We don't hold back really, because we're emotional
Well,
beings, you know.
Women want to know everything all the time, and guys don't want to know it all.
Yeah,
A lot of
or
times
sometimes
guys
I'd
don't want
rather
to talk
not.
about it all. They don't need to talk about it all. I don't want to know. I don't want to know your past relation. I don't know this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck,
Yeah.
right? I don't want to
Yeah.
know that shit.
I want to know her name, her
Yeah.
address.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Ah, yeah, hey,
So
that's
clear all
true.
that. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
How you
So,
know
like,
her? Like,
Yeah.
I went to school with her since the first
Yeah.
grade. That's how I know her.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So we don't want to know all
That
that.
was,
Yeah.
That's funny because I was at Sworn Final and I seen like somebody I went to school with, and then obviously they were with their partner, and like the girlfriend or the wife was like over there, and then like I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like why are you hiding
Yeah.
it? Like,
You better
And, like,
not.
don't even
Yeah.
say hi to me,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
if it has to be that way, like,
it's not worth it. Yeah.
No.
Go ahead. I wish you would hug her. Go ahead. Go ahead and hug her. I wish. I wish.
you know, but that's weird.
That's something between them. Like,
Right?
yeah, that's something
that's-
between them.
yeah.
Don't even fucking say
That means
hi.
that he's done something
sorry,
to
yeah.
make her feel
Yeah.
some
Like,
type of
yeah,
way.
it's like
Yes.
it's
Not
easy.
necessarily. She just might feel that kind of way all the time.
Hey, bro.
Jealous person. There's a lot of just
yeah,
Oh,
that-
hey,
yeah,
shit.
you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
you know?
It was just, it's
But I will say, like a lot of times with people too, like men don't want to tell their women shit or drop all this weight on them because, like, if I really told you all the shit that I wrestle with in my head, it would take away your peace. If you were my lady, you'd be like, fuck. You're like,
Yeah.
like I'm figuring out, how we're gonna pay this bill. What's going on with this? How I'm upset. How I feel like I'm gonna smash a motherfucker in his face tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then you're like going, well, fuck, man. I'm uneasy. Like this motherfucker's gonna go to jail tomorrow. Like, what's going on? Like,
Don't
so.
you think that you should be able to?
What's up? It's better though. Like
No.
I can
Well-
deal with that myself. Like I could deal with that because I'm gonna get through all that. You know what I mean? Like Tom said, you go over there, you put that on her. Now she's tripping on the things that you're tripping on when she shouldn't be. Because this
And
I
she's
can
got her
handle
own
it.
stuff. I
Yeah.
got to take, like
You
you,
know what
said,
I
the
mean?
bills. I got my
Yeah.
assignments here.
I could go ahead
and
and
now
just
I'm
handle it
tripping on
myself.
your assignments over here. Like, and now I got all this weight on me. So it's kind of like, again, we talk about, biblically and everything, the man being the stronger vessel. Like, I need to absorb that and suck that and take that on me. I'm not
Yeah.
going to dump everything on her because now women, especially women, they're looking for stability.
We
They want to
are.
know that you're going to be
Yes.
there. They want to know that the house is going to be taken care of. They got a roof over their head. They got all these things, but they're looking for stability. That's a big thing in a relationship. And if I tell you the war is going on in my head, you ain't going to be stable.
I'm not stable. How you gonna be stable?
You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be like, oh, fuck.
Let me pray for him.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was crazy. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
got with your husband, yeah, he's that old-fashioned, typical machismo, hardworking Mexican man. Did you know that maybe you weren't going to get roses and balloons and flowers every day, but the bills were going to be paid? Like, is it hard to be with somebody that, like, because a lot of people today, like the younger generation of guys, cry about everything. They open up to everybody there. And I feel like there has to be a happy medium, right? Like, we do need to help the men with their mental health as far as like whether like a moment of depression, whether like, my dad's schizophrenic, my uncle's schizophrenic. Could we have helped him? Like, but then I feel like it's now so extreme because everybody has emotions and everybody's crying.
Too
Yeah,
sensitive.
if the guy was dumping on you everything all the time, more than you dump on
I'd be
him,
like, bye.
You'd be a Debbie
Yeah.
Downer. Or, oh fuck, my life is so tough. I got all this going on
Yeah.
all the time. You'd be like, dude, you cry more than I do.
Yeah.
Like,
Too
you're
sensitive,
emotional
man.
wreck. Get out. Like, you just lose respect for the
Yeah,
guy. for
you'll get
sure.
through it, homie. You'll get through it. Stay strong,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah, exactly.
Come on,
But
bro.
you know
Come
what?
on, yeah.
You men also stress over like the smallest things.
Probably.
You guys do. It's like you have two things to do in one day and you're not going to get it done.
Oh, nah.
You're so
Not me.
I'm not bad.
Not me.
I'm not saying like, no.
I love Yaya.
Not me.
They're not us.
No.
No,
like
we need
no.
an example. We need an
That's-
example.
Give us
Oh, man.
She's like, don't make me put my husband on the spot.
I know because I got anxiety big time, so I'm probably like, that sounds about right. You don't even have to tell me what it's about. I'm like already.
Well, the reason I asked is my friend, and I can't say her name, and she's going to know who it is, got married a few years ago. And she's married to the typical old-fashioned Mexican machismo man, right? He works Monday through Friday, drinks in the garage on Friday night, does this lawn on Saturday, drinks Saturday night, and then barbecues with literally him. And he faithfully watches it, so he knows what's happening. Right? But she'll call sometimes. She's like he's not emotional. Like, he doesn't talk. I said, so the mortgage is paid, right? She's like, well, yeah. I said, you got a new truck in the driveway, right? She's like, oh, yeah. I said, so what are you crying about? But she's not necessarily, like, she knows our culture, but not as much as, like, the hardcore old school culture. So sometimes she's like, but I just wish he would.
He's not a woman and he's not your girlfriend.
Yeah.
But so now as time goes on and we talk, she's realizing like, you know what? He's home every night. He never goes anywhere I don't know. He does love. Maybe I don't get that extra kiss or that extra love, but
But she didn't know that about him already. Like, you know what I mean?
she did. But I think she thought maybe it would change or get better. And in my words, I don't want to use the
You wanted to
word,
change
but
him?
he's that old fashioned Mexican. You know what I mean? Like it's not
People
going to change.
handle it differently. Like, if I wanted, like for me, if I wanted to go ahead and like I wanted to vent to my wife or whatever, like it's different. I'll vent to her about maybe like all the things I have to do or whatever's coming up, just daily life stuff. And then I won't vent to her the same way if I go to Tom and like me and Tom are boys or whatever it is. I'm a motherfucker, dog. I just got to beat down the lash. Now I got to pick up my kids and do this, and I still got to work out. I got to. It's different. Like people handle stuff different. Like I can handle a lot on my back, in my head. I can handle a lot because I know at the end of the day I've been through stuff and I'll get through it. So I don't got to call Tom and be like, hey Tom, some guy called me ugly today. I'm like, some type of way. Like, you know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah. And some guys are like that. And I'm like, some guys are. Some guys are like, oh, you are ugly, fool. Like, so what? You know what I mean? So who cares?
Totally.
People are sensitive. Guys are sensitive now. Like, if my homie called me, say something like that, I'd be like, bro, I know you're. Are you playing right now? Like, you serious? You know what I
But
mean?
he's the type that'll drink, and then his emotions come out when he's drinking. You know what I mean? And like,
Catch him then.
Yeah.
yeah. And
How
that's
many
what I
you
told
in? Oh, yeah.
because she had a small procedure done, and so I went to her house to help with the granddaughter, just a bunch of, and so she wasn't there. She's getting the procedure done, and he's all drunk, right? And he's all, I was like, oh my God, he does love her. Like, but he's that man that doesn't express his emotion. He keeps everything in his head, but a few beers in, and then it comes out, and it sucks that men can't be like us women. Like we do call each other and say, this bitch told me da da da. Like we will say that, like we have that conversation, but men don't do that. And I don't know why you guys are like that. Is it naturally like that? Is it because that's how you saw your grandpa? Is that how you saw your dad? Like how do you guys just don't know to hold all your emotions in?
Do you really want that though?
I don't think.
Man?
Yeah, I don't think.
I
you
don't
really
think
want
so
that.
either.
Yeah.
Do I really want what?
Men to be that emotional, to be that, because you got to remember, men and women process things differently, right? As a man, if I decided to open up to you, I would say, here are all the things I got to do today or whatever. Here's the things that I'm stressed about. But it doesn't mean that I'm falling apart. It just means here's my list, right? But to a woman, when you hear that, you hear, oh, the world's falling apart. And to us guys, it's like, oh, it's just Tuesday. You see what I mean? It's a different way of looking at it.
That is a really good way of looking at it because you're right. I will be like, oh my God, da, 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 da. And I do feel that. I don't feel like this is just a moment. It's like the whole world is on my shoulders and I have to figure everything out right then and there.
Right.
Yeah. And then if he told you everything, he put more of that weight right on your shoulders. Like it's already.
Yeah, because then we would try to fix it, huh?
Else.
I don't think we would, as women, would be able to just sit there and listen. I think as you're telling us, we're already trying to fix it. We're already trying to change it. We're already like, well, if you would have did this, like I told you, if you would have done that, or let's do and you guys don't want to hear that.
No, because we got it handled.
I'm good. Yeah. I rather just, I'll take care of it. Like it's me, I'll take care of it. Like Tom said, man, if I go over there and tell my wife what all the stuff that's on my plate that I'm gonna get through, everything's gonna happen, and I'm stressed about it, but I'm not gonna go tell her like same thing that she's like, well, maybe I should help him do this, and now that puts, like you said, more on her plate, and now she's stressing. That's what I don't want. You know what I mean? I don't want that.
Come home with, she's still got a smile on her face. She's still,
they're good.
Oh, and you're like, you're thinking,
and you don't know all the stuff I just did.
Get a smile and dinner, and she's all happy go look. All right, we're still cool.
Yeah, just be beautiful, man. That's it. I got everything else. Don't worry about it. That's it. Keep it easy.
Yeah,
keep it easy.
There's a guy that worked at one of the terminals, and he went on vacation with like the top owners or managers of the terminal, and they had just bought the terminal out, which was ITS. And they were at Disney World. And they're there with the family and with these people. And when the top business people were leaving and got on a plane, as he's still there for the next like 4 days with his family, they sent him a text and said, by the way, you're fired. Which really sucked because he was going to retire in like 2 or 3 months. Yeah. But they said he didn't tell his wife and kids and everything. He smiled and enjoyed the rest of his trip
As you should.
because where I think
Yep,
as us,
you
we would have
should.
been like,
Yeah.
we would have like broke
Yep,
down.
they wouldn't have enjoyed the
should.
trip. The peace would have been gone.
Yes, but like, how
That's
do
what we're
you
talking
hold
about.
that in, knowing, like,
Because you don't want to. Because if you show any kind of weakness, I would say, or anything that's wrong, then they pick up on it. Or if I take it on, then I'm gonna go ahead and if I react a certain way, then the mood dampens and I ruin kind of everyone else's
We're
time
here
there or
to
whatever.
protect, right? We're part of protecting,
Right.
protecting you in that way.
The
Right.
bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
We'll
But it
take all the
comes to a
shots.
point where it's too much, and then you break down, and then what?
That's when I call Tom.
See what I mean?
That's
Well,
when I call. But
you
it
know-
takes
Well,
a while though. It
you
takes a
gotta
while.
keep
you're
it
not
to the
gonna just sit
minimal,
here and
like-
tell me like, oh no, I'm good, I'm solid through this whole. I'll
No.
just take it, because there's gonna come a time that you're
Sure.
gonna freaking just eat
Sure.
your break.
So you're gonna
Like-
have to find out ways to release that. Like, and a lot of people, ways to release it is gonna be working out,
Mhm.
gonna be riding their motorcycle, be going on bike rides, to gonna be whatever, going on hikes with their girlfriend. Or
Some
their
people,
wife,
like they said,
whatever their release
drinking.
is,
That's
their
what
vacation.
I
you know,
I feel like, unfortunately, in our culture,
Yeah.
that's a big thing. Drinking.
yeah, some people
Drinking
drink, and then
could
that's
be
when
that.
that's when it all comes
Could
out,
be
and that's
some
why
bad
people start
shit, right?
talking.
Hope-
And they
Hopefully it's
start
those
fighting.
positive
Yeah.
They start, yeah.
right? Hopefully it's some.
It's
positive.
misguided anger when you're drinking, right? Because your emotions are all over the
But
place.
Everyone's tolerance is different too, though.
Yeah.
Like I might be able to take more. Like it builds up enough to where I have to go talk to somebody at a certain point. So maybe my height is here that I could take like on, and then
Yeah.
someone else's might be here. You know what I mean? So
Did you ever go talk to your grandpa, or did you ever have moments of, and I say moments of because I don't like to ever claim depression on anybody.
Mhm.
Like, do you have moments of like when you went through your divorce and everything? Is your grandpa somebody that you could go speak to?
no, not about that
Because-
type of stuff.
And the reason I asked is because when I see him or hear about him, your grandpa's Superman,
Mm-hmm.
but he's also that old fashioned Mexican
Yeah,
man
old
that
fashioned.
if you went to him and was like, I'm crying, I feel he'd be like, boy, you better wipe those tears.
Yeah, he would care, but it wouldn't be in a way like he hasn't. I think he's told me I love you like twice
Yeah.
my whole life.
But you knew he loved you, right?
Yeah, but I know he loves me, so I don't need to hear it. It's just
Yeah.
like actions and stuff like that. But I wouldn't go to him for something because he's been married to my grandma for like 60 something years. Like, you know what I mean? So there have been solid since then, up and downs, of course, but he's never really been through it. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he wouldn't know, like,
Yeah.
why are you crying? Like, you'll get through it. Like, so I never had to go to him. Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
it'd be, I don't know, somebody else. Like, if
How
I
did
had,
you get through it?
man, I
Just
guess
kept going?
I guess just like looking forward. Like it sucked to go through it, right? It sucked to go through it and everything that came from it, and the rumors and the truths and the lies and everything. That part sucked, but I knew that I'm still a dad. I still got bills to pay. Nothing stops. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The world doesn't stop because you're going through
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
So that's why you have to push through.
Mhm.
I still got mortgage to pay. I still got bills to pay. And, you just got to push through. Of course, I'd get like advice from maybe other people that went through it, or some of my boys, like my A1s, that would kind of hear me out and give their opinion, whether I took it or not. But they were there. So if I did need that little release of like, bro, this is what it is, and this is what I'm going through, and I would, they would hear me out. Like, you know what I mean? But it doesn't stop. Your problems, the world doesn't stop because of your problems. You got to get through it.
Yeah.
Still got little ones to feed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm the protector. Like you said, I'm the provider. None of that stops.
How long have you been married, Yaya? How long have you been with him?
20 years.
In
God bless you.
I know. He ain't letting her go. Are you kidding me?
Mm-mm.
Even if,
20 years.
even if she tried to sneak
Mm-mm.
out, he'd be like,
Yeah. You thought.
Yeah. That's why she's not even arguing. I always say that Yaya is not, what's the word? Like, she's not the type to fuck around and find out with her husband. Like, she doesn't even need to. But in the midst of all those years, was there ever a point, or is there a point where, like, not that he comes and tells you or breaks down or anything like that, but he just, whether you guys are on the couch or in bed, where he's just, like, I'm done, I'm tired, and and you're just there without words, like,
Yeah, we had a moment when we were like moving from one home to the next home. And I think it was like, is this the correct thing to do? And I kept saying, like, yeah, this is the best thing to do. Like, why wouldn't we? So he kind of like, I kind of reassured, yes, we're good. But in the back of his head, I don't think that's what he wanted. But it was his idea first. So honestly, whatever he says, like, I just back him up. Like, I'm going to make it work no matter what. If
Yeah.
it's going to be at this house, that house, or that house,
yeah.
I'm going to make it a home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Is that all the time though? Like, or do you like put your foot down on certain things and be like, no?
No, there's certain things that he knows we don't just go that route. No, no, no. I'm not saying like I'm just like, oh yeah, let's.
Yeah, no.
No.
I'm
You know
not saying.
what I
Yeah, I
mean?
was just saying that. Like certain
No.
things where it's like,
No,
put your
there's
foot down.
certain
You're like,
things that, like it's like no, you
Yeah.
know. But there's a lot of things like if it's gonna help us grow or as a family or do things like differently, like let's do it. Let's try it. Let's find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once we were there, that I knew he was just like didn't like the move. Like he was like I think mentally like drained. Like I think he was like
I think sometimes like me, because I'll push myself. Like I don't need nobody to push me. Like I'm already a motivated guy. I'm already disciplined, so I'll push myself to a limit. So it's like I feel like sometimes I go on this marathon, a 25-mile run, right, and get the whole thing done, right, and get it done in a good time. And at the end of that, you got the girl, your woman, going, "Hey, I need you to run a 40-yard dash now." Like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
like, did you just see that I just did all this shit? And I am done. Don't you just see I'm done and leave me the fuck alone? Like right now,
No.
like, you want me to go do a 40-yard dash after I just ran 25 miles.
You want extra
Yeah.
credit?
Yeah, you want, like, so it's like sometimes guys say, well, you don't, like, you're just like in the sand. You're just like, you got your line down. You don't compromise at all. Yeah, because when I do, you still want some more. Like, so I'm like, bam, damn it. I can stop already.
No.
You know what I mean?
so I just feel like when that happened, like he was just like done. And he like one day, like we were, I don't know, picking out like the floor for whatever that we were doing in the house. And he just like, it was like he just broke down and just started talking to me like a conversation. Like, was
Mhm.
this good or whatever it was?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh shit.
Like you're talking.
Yeah,
But
like
I'm saying
oh,
the tolerance.
yeah.
He reached a peak. He reached a point
but
where
it
you
was
know what I mean.
crazy because it was like, dude, I've been with this man forever, and I don't think he has ever even
Talk to me like that.
talked to me like
Wow.
about this. So what do I do?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, hold on, because if I say the wrong thing, he's
Mm.
gonna shut. He's
Mm.
shutting down on me.
Tom says that all the time.
Like if I don't think before I reply to what he's trying to get to me,
Yep.
he's gonna shut down
Yep.
on me. So then I just stopped and I said, how can I help you? Like, what could I do for you to help you?
Oh my God. This
I would-
you deserve that.
yeah, right?
Thank
Thank
you.
you, thank
Oh
you.
my God.
Because after 20 years, I would have assumed, because again, I'm not married, that you would already have gone through almost every emotion. But if
You
it,
have to understand, Alina, that a lot of the times he's not here.
That's where he's at work.
working
Yeah.
out. So when he comes home, it's like it's a weekend again. It's like freaking Disneyland again because we're good. Like
Yeah.
we haven't seen each other. We're on a honeymoon.
That's great.
uh,
So well, so when I
He's
had a
like,
moving
yeah.
business, right? And it seemed like it was great there because I had the moving business and I would do these jobs all over, right? So I'd be in Phoenix, Arizona for 3 days, right? So all of a sudden, 3 weeks go by and I'm got to go to Oakland, right? Or whatever, San Francisco. So it was crazy because I might not get all that great a treatment or whatever, all the other, during the month getting up to that point, like it was just normal. But when you're gone and then they realize, oh shit, this guy's been gone for 4
Yeah.
days. I miss his ass. Like
Yeah.
he was doing a bunch of shit around here. I didn't realize he was doing. Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden he comes back, baby, what do you want me to make you for dinner? Like,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, oh shit, like, oh, this is kind of nice, So it was good for I think it's really good in a relation, just little bursts of that,
Yeah.
So when you came home, like, so when you were home for like a longer period of time, was it like you guys were at each other's necks? Or like, hey,
Yeah, it might
go,
be
Hey, go
okay
somewhere
now.
three more days. Homie.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
you've
know
been
what
here
I
for
mean?
3 months now.
I already got it planned already. I'm
Yeah.
out of here 4 days now. How about that? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
think it's because women nag, and you guys already have your own stresses or own pressures
Totally.
in your head, and now you just hear
You're
like,
just adding to it. You're already adding what I know. I already got to try to accomplish. I'm already trying to do, and now you're just like pesting, like
do you nag? Yeah, yeah.
pestering me.
Do I nag? No.
I don't see
think-
you as a nagger.
No.
She
'cause-
says no in a whiny voice. That's what's funny
no,
about it.
I don't. Like, I don't think what is there to nag about, to be honest with you? Like, I don't, like, for me to sit there and, like, complain. The only thing I complain about is, like, I'm fucking tired. I just want to sleep. Or what? Like, let me just, like, you know what I mean? But, like, this weekend, like, for example, this weekend, my middle child had a tournament. So he had to be at the field at 8 o'clock in the morning. I wake up every day to take him to school, which is my job. I'm their mother. But and then he comes home. He came home on the weekend, and I was like, well, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't sleep comfortable at a different hotel.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna just let him sleep, and I'll just get up and go. So then I got back, and I was like, damn, I'm tired. I just want to take a nap. And he's like, no, let's go. And I was like, you know, like I'm like,
Let me
bro,
sleep.
like I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
It's like,
But
what do you
you're
wanna
going
do?
all week long. I feel like the two of you are such a good team because when he is at work, not only are you holding the house down, you're still doing all your entrepreneur stuff.
Mhm.
You don't ever stop either. So I feel like the two of you are at a, like, you guys know how each other works. You guys know. That's what I'm saying. When you said the other day when he talked to you and you didn't know how to handle it, I'm like, you've been together 20 years.
But it's like because within those whole 20 years, like we're busy. Like I never stopped working. He's never stopped working. Like I don't know that. So we've never really like stopped and said like, hey, what are you going through? Or like, hey, what are you going through? Like it's never been.
So with saying that, so you're 20 years, like I was 27, right? So at the 27, it was like, you know, when we both had a sign like, hey, I'm just worrying about getting the kids here and getting into to this game and doing this, and this one's getting ready for finals and whatever you had, like you had this agenda, and I'm just worrying about getting the house in order and the kitchen's out of whack, and so you guys have, and then you guys both think you're on the same page and you're going after the same goal,
Mhm.
right? And then once those things are gone, and then it's just you two, and you're like,
How are you?
doing? Yeah. How are you? Like, what kind of shit are you? Like, oh shit, what do you mean we're not on the same course? Like,
Yeah.
well, this is what I want to do. These are my goals. These are my hobbies. This is what I want to do. And you're like, oh shit, like I didn't know that. Like, because the first primary thing was creating this nest egg for your babies, putting them in college, taking care of them. And that was the prime focus. And it wasn't you two. Like, so it's really like, I mean, it needs to be you too, right?
Yeah.
Because so the thing is, like, I think in relationships, you know, we put the kids first all the time. Well, the kids first, but no, it's not the kids first. It's you two first. You two are number one. Like, that's my wife. Don't talk to her like that.
I told you that about
Right?
my grandpa.
Yeah, that's so they need to be first, right? And it's not that anymore. It's like, well, the baby and that's my baby, and I love my baby, and they're just like there's mama bears and all this shit. No, it's me first. Like I'm number one. I'm number one over everybody because without me and you, there's no us.
The problem is,
You know?
a lot of people think that they are still maintaining their relationship through the baby because they're seeing it as we have something in common that we both agree on, that we both talk about all the time, and it gives us this and that. And
Once that
literally-
baby's an adult and
Yeah,
it flies away
that's
from
it.
the nest and it's
That's
gone, and you're looking at each other like, hey, well, there.
Yeah,
ain't-
who are you again?
Yeah,
Exactly.
what's up? You know,
Yeah.
like
It's true.
so that's a danger. You know.
I was that. Like, I was horrible girlfriend, baby mama to Seth's dad. Like, I will, like, and I tell Seth that, like, but there was reasons why. He wasn't, it was like a constant cycle. He would do this, so then I'd act like this. We'd make up and he'd do it again, so I'd act like that. You know what I mean? It was just,
Mhm.
so then I got to a point where I shut down completely. And whether you're here or not, I have 2 kids, I got to go. And so I understand why he went and ventured off and like, and I tell Seth, you can't be just mad at him. You got to be mad at me. And Seth doesn't see it that way, but I was that. Like, it was, I got to a point where it was like, F you, I'm only taking care of my kids. You're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. Like 100%. And in the moment, I thought maybe that would get his attention, which men don't work that way, right? And I know that he comes from a line of like mental health. Seth, you know, my dad, my uncle comes from a line of it. So the reason I'm so big about this is I know when Seth went through his whole thing a few years ago, like now where he's at, like he's very communicative. Like he communicates with me so much more than he ever has. But he does tell me, stop, enough. Like he'll go hibernate in his room and I'll be like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh dear God, this woman again, you're back in here. Like,
He probably got comfortable with it though, like himself, like you know what I mean?
yes.
He got comfortable be able to go to you and talk.
But now he's realizing like, I got to handle stuff myself. Like I can't, like you said, you can't unleash everything on me because then what is, you know, it's going to make us different. So now I know like right now, let's just say for his age, his biggest stress would be I graduated college. What am I going to do next?
Mhm.
Right. And so some things have come up and I can tell in his voice when he calls me like, Mom, this. And I'm like, oh, that, like what you said, I have to think about what I'm going to say next. But I never thought it would be like that with my own child because he's my son. So I should be able to say what I want when I want. He has to hear it. Absolutely.
No way.
not.
There's a point.
He's a man now.
I don't
like,
think any men are like that.
Yeah.
You got to be mindful of what you say and what you're saying. Like you might be thinking, well, I'm thinking this and I wanted to communicate with, but it comes out wrong. And then now you're screwed.
the tone, maybe the tone.
Shit.
Sometimes that tone, man.
Well,
That's
that,
what
you
me off.
said,
I'm
no,
like,
you
I'll get
said.
that look like me, don't tell me what to do. Like that's even like even my mom says it today, man. She'll say, "Are you working?" And I'm like, "Why?" Like, like why? And she's like, well, "I just want to know if you're working." Mom,
And that's
I'm like 37 years old. Like, is there a reason why you want to know why I'm working? No. I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's crazy because I feel like that's going to be me because you're very attached to your mom. She's an amazing mother. I saw it all. Like I was telling her, like, I love Val. Like the way she treated us, even after everything. Like, so I would think and assume, no, Mom, I'm not working. Like you would be like,
because for me, there has to be a reason. Like, I'm not call me on the phone. Like, if you call me on the phone, it better be something like serious. Like, don't text me, whatever it is. Like for me personally, it's me. Right. So like if somebody calls me and says like, are you at work? My first reaction is, why?
You need me?
Right? Yeah. Like, why?
You need me to come on? Like,
Why,
hey.
why do you need to know if I'm at work or not? Right. Like, and then she's like, well, are you? Is there something wrong? Do I need to she's like,
Do I need a call?
she's like, no, like literally before I came here, she's like, well, I wanted to come by and see the baby. I'm like, okay, the baby's at home with Marie. Like, you could go by. And she's like, so you're not at work. I'm like, I'll see you later. Like, you know what I mean? Like, tell me a reason why if you ask me, like, it has to be a reason. Or
and
if you
women aren't like that.
Oh, man.
We're the opposite. Like if I called you and said, are you working? Oh, like we don't even think of like,
Yeah.
But men are so like.
Maybe it's because I already know there's nothing behind it. It's just like to know like what I'm doing or
she's most
maybe
personal.
that. Like, you know what I mean?
I need
And my
a
homie-
task to accomplish.
Yeah, or my homie
you
calls
got
me like, hey,
something
what are you
to
doing? What's up? Like, you know what I mean? He's just calling me to see actually like if I'm available. My mom just wants to know what I'm doing.
But
Like, what
why
are you
can't
doing?
we know that?
Huh?
Why can't we know that?
What do you need to know it
'Cause
for?
you're
Like, she needs a
our
boyfriend. That's what she needs. Mom needs a boyfriend. Mom need a boyfriend.
Oh,
Call him and
hold on,
ask him.
Give them our Instagram so they can
Yeah,
take her
I'll drop it. Hey, wait for after this. I'll drop it. You got to go through me applications though. I'll put it right there, yeah.
Hold on, Val. I love you. I'm on your back. Hashtag Val. You
Hey,
leave your
my
mom
brother
alone.
will co-sign. Co-sign that.
No, but yes, we do. I will say for years I got lost in my kids and anybody that I dated and it was and I'm kind of like you. The more you throw it in my face, bye. Like you don't need.
But see, okay, to that, we're going a little bit, but off that subject, like, hey, you hear the women say, like, hey, it's about my kids first. They're the first. So I'm going to take you. I'm going to put you up on that shelf. And then when I'm ready for you next week, like, oh, I'm available today, I'll take you back off and I'll dust you off and say, hey, now you can come around and put you back on the shelf when I don't want you and I don't need you because I'm too busy for you. I got my business. I got my life. I got my grandma. I got my family.
Nip that in the butt early, though.
And I'm going to put you back up on the
That's
shelf.
what I say.
Yeah.
Right? And then, especially her, because she's got all these chores around the house and things that need to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, I'm taking the kids. Babe, I know I told you I had the kids this week, but can you come by and fix the garbage disposal?
Oh, you're
Oh,
off
wait
the
a
shelf
minute. No,
now.
but I needed you to help me with my taxes,
Yeah.
right? That you knew how to get online. I'm not good at that, but you told me, I told you I had my kids and I can't come by and help you with your taxes this week because I have my babies, but yet I need you to come by and fix my garbage disposal. Or I need to fix the tire because I got to take the kids
I
to school
called him
tomorrow.
from Arizona. Remember I texted you first? And then I called Tom in Arizona. I was like, can you go fix my roof? It's raining.
But I'm just saying, like, a lot of women do that, man. They put the guy up on the shelf saying, hey, well, you just got to understand. I got a life, and this is what it is. Like, take it or leave it, buddy. And you're like,
You gotta nip that in the butt though,
What?
like right when it bugs you, or like something like, hey, look, like I get it, your kids are first and all that, but it's still me and you. We gotta have that time. It is hard, bro. It's hard. Like sometimes you get neglected.
So let's use that as an example then. At what point would you guys call each other not knowing how to handle it, being in that situation, because you don't want to lose out on a good person, right? That you're dating or you're seeing, but then she doesn't realize what she's could lose or give up because she's so busy doing this and that. Like, Do you call your friends and ask questions or vent?
Heck
or
yeah. Heck yeah.
And the reason I ask is because when my parents, and I wasn't there, so I can't judge. I mean, I do, and I try my hardest not to. Feel like my grandpa, my dad's dad, was like your grandpa.
Mhm.
So you don't come and ask or talk or cry. And a lot of things went and happened. It got too much for my dad, and he just snapped and never came back. And mental health wasn't an issue back then, right? Now it is. Now there's so much suicide by men. Men they're strong men. And not that these men are weak that commit suicide. I don't think they're weak because I would never want to be in that situation. But they've just, like you said, lost hope. They just felt like, and could they pick up the phone? But the thing is, as girls, because that's why the suicide rate for women or girls is so less, because we will call each other. We will vent. We will cry. We will let it out. And I've done that with my friends and they don't judge me, but men don't do that.
It's just the way you're brought up
Well,
too. I
it's to
think.
how close is that friend? Like, too, like, you know, you might be lucky and you have 4 or 5 of them, and then you might be fucking only have one. You know, so you know, like,
If
And
you're brought up too, though, if you're brought up a certain way, like my grandpa basically like raised me, right? So I didn't really see any emotions like that. Doesn't mean that my grandpa's my grandpa and I'm me, like I'm me. So like his tolerance is probably triple mine, obviously, you know, different times and stuff. But it just depends. Like so if we go back to that example where you said like about what was about what were you just talking about the kids on the shelf.
yeah,
Yeah.
putting them on the
Because,
shelf.
like I would like nip that in the butt, like right. So if I never went through it, or if I didn't like, this is what I want to say, I'm gonna hit Tom up and be like, because it could go one way or another if I bring it up, right? Maybe what I wanted to say, maybe let me call Tom and see like what's your opinion.
Well,
on
yeah,
this?
because I need some constructive criticism. For me, I'd be like, am I tripping? Because
Yeah.
I'm thinking this. Am I out of line in any kind of way? If I'm feeling
Yeah.
like this, am I just being, you know, am I tripping about it? Or, you know.
Might need that reassurance,
Maybe,
like, you know
yeah,
what I
and
mean?
you
That-
might be
that
like,
reassurance,
no,
too.
like,
But
I
at the end
went
of the
through
day-
some shit like that, and or, you know what? Hey, give her a little slack. She's trying to do such and such, you know,
Yeah.
maybe, you know, but yeah.
And you could take it, or like you said, you could take the, you know, his opinion or not and take it for it. But at the end of the day, you're the one that's going through it. So you got to make the decision. Like, I can see how you can look at it, but this is what I think. Like, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna approach that situation how I think. Like, so in that case, I'd be like, hey, look, I know your kids are first. I agree with all that. Like, yeah, all the time, but we still need me and you time.
Yeah.
Now, how that goes, now we're gonna see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you could go on from there. But you should be able to go with how you feel, like your gut on that
Do you
situation.
think that women think that men don't necessarily need that as much because you guys, for the most part, not all men, for the most part, you guys are strong and you guys don't show emotion. So sometimes we feel like, oh, they're good with that or they're happy with that. We don't have to constantly give them attention. We don't, because we really don't realize that at the end of the day, it's what Tom said, men like to be up here. They always need to be first. Probably 10 years ago now, I called my buddy and I was like, I don't get it. Like, she's married. And I've dated some good guys, but I didn't realize this. How am I not married? He goes, because you're a mom first. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, you've made it clear to everybody and anybody. You're not a wife first. You're a mom first. You would be a wife like third, because it would be your kids, your sister's kids, and then your husband. And I was like, what's wrong with that? He's like, oh, absolutely not. He's like, I don't have kids for a reason. And he's happily married.
Mhm.
And she obviously didn't want kids or she was okay. He goes, because I always need to be first. And I was like, oh, well, that's like, I thought at the time, like, that's a little selfish. And he's like, it's absolutely not selfish. I know what I want. This is what I want. And he said, for you, you're not giving the man what they want. And I was just like, oh, but
Yeah, but so if you put that guy first, right? If you said, hey, what did you have planned? What are we going to do? What's going on? And you're putting him first on the weekend, and you're like, because, you know, maybe you had something to take care of with your babies, and you were like, well, I got this going on at the field, and I wanted to go help them out, and they got a fundraiser, and you'd be like, oh, cool. He'd probably go right away and want to go help you. But if you're just like, hey, I got this going on, and like you just want to add him,
He's like an
like,
option.
he's a sidekick. Like no,
you know what I mean? There's a way you could be like, hey, I wanted to go to the field. Would you like to come? Or it's like, hey, I'm going to the
help me
field.
out?
I don't know what you got going on, homie, but
Yes.
I'm going to the field. See
Yeah,
you later.
That's me.
that
You know what I mean?
part.
so I've been
That
that
part.
up until about 2 years ago.
Yes.
I've always, and I will openly say that, like, but I knew that. I knew I may never find somebody, and I'm okay with it because to me and only me, it was worth everything up to this point. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
But now, especially now that I've done the podcast and now that, Tom's been on for a year, I've actually learned a lot, and I have more respect for men today because I don't feel like I've really met somebody that challenges me mentally. And I always tell people I need to date somebody stronger than me. And they're like, what do you mean stronger than you? I'm like, I'm not talking about weights. Like, I'm not even that strong. Mentally, like emotionally, I've come across a lot of weak guys. I've never told them that. I've never said that, but I will instantly stop dating you if you cry over a flat tire. Like,
Mhm.
if you
See?
don't know how to fix it, that's fine.
See?
But at least call
That's why I'm not vulnerable with you.
Yeah.
Telling her shit.
I don't tell them anything, but in my head, I
should
was
just
like,
cut them
they
off.
know.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh,
Like,
it was you.
I can't, like, if that's what like, you can cry over like your mom died, maybe if your dog got hit by a car, but like over a flat tire, buddy, like that's what you're crying about, like no,
See,
like
hey, but he wants that's meant his he can't deal with it on us. So he's like a sensitive guy. Like it's different now. Like me and Tom are built different. Guys before us are built different where we don't need like we're stronger mentally, emotionally, and you got guys like that cry over
and I
dumb
look
shit.
at my two grandpas. My grandpa buried a son, my oldest uncle. I never saw my grandpa cry. Like he came home because he was working in Connecticut. He came home. They did the funeral, like everything. Like and that's your oldest child. Like, how did you not cry? But I'm sure when he went back to Connecticut, he let it all out. Grandma Petra's husband.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other grandpa who became paralyzed, like, you're in a wheelchair now. He got on a horse, he got in a truck, like he had the brakes and the gas, like I never saw him cry, complain, nothing. So for me, that's what men are supposed to be like, right? But now insert my dad who his mental health got the best of him. So I'm always torn between the two, but I'll be honest, as much as I try to like have this podcast, be rooting for men, there's still a part of me that's like my son particularly, that poor kid, I don't let him, like, you're crying because you got to take the trash out. And this is when he was like 10 or something.
Mm-hmm.
You better wipe those tears and take the damn mother effing trash out. Like, so now he's like that, but it's backfired because now I feel like he's almost worse than Tom, like zero emotion. Like he does not show anything. And that's why now every time he opens up, I watch what I say. I have to think about what I'm going to say next because I don't want him to shut me out. And I see him dating, and when he dates, like there's zero tolerance. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a little Alina. Like I created a monster. Like, oh my God.
It's what you go through. Like you got to go through stuff to like, that's how like back in the day, like you said, uncles and everything, they went through stuff or they seen how their dad was. So imagine if they're hard, stone-faced, imagine their pops. Like, you know what I mean? So it's the way you're brought up, the way the things that you go through that harden you up.
Sure.
Some guys get hard, man, and then that's, no homo. Some guys get hard, and then, you can't break through that. That's just who they are. That's not saying they don't go home, like you said, and maybe let it out, go to the gym. There's different ways to go other than crying about a flat tire.
Yeah, when I got that one, I was like, oh yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
Like and he wasn't actually tears, but it was like,
Oh, wait, it actually happened?
oh yeah. I was like,
I thought you were just giving us an example.
nope. And I was like, oh, let me just call my AAA real quick. I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. So do you think that today it's easier for men to talk to other men? Do you think today that with the whole mental health crisis of depression, anxiety, suicide, that I'm sure if I was to ask your grandpa, he would say, F depression and anxiety. We don't have that back
I don't
in
even
the
know
day.
what that is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But do you think that it's easier today for you guys as men to talk to each other? Or
I mean, like you said, like for I have a certain amount of homies or whatever that I could talk to about like anything for the most part. But even then, I won't talk to them about everything. Like I go through my own stuff or whatever. Now, guys that are younger than me, like these 20-year-old, well, man, like it's a whole different.
yeah,
They got hotlines and social media and this and that they could go ahead and vent to strangers or whatever. It's just the times are different.
yeah.
So me and Tom might not want to go talk. Maybe once in a while, grab a beer, shoot the shit or whatever
They
it
got
is.
the families too and
Yeah.
everything going on in their life. So it's not like you're gonna go and dump and reach out to him. It's like, fudge, I'm gonna take him away from. I got this shit going on. What's up? And he's like, oh, he's supposed to be at some event with his family, but then he wants to be there for you too. So it's like you don't want to weigh on that. But
We don't think
you
about
might-
that as women. We're like, where are you?
Yeah, I need to talk
Go
to you
outside
now.
right now.
Yeah, but you know what? They got a lot of shit, and we
Okay.
know they got a lot of shit because we got a lot of shit
Yeah.
that we're dealing with. So it's like, I'm not gonna mess with them. I'm gonna bother them with that. I mean, for me, you find a couple and you got that group where you're like, I'm in a good spot. I got 2-3 people that I can shoot
Yeah.
some shit to, and then get some kind of feedback and see,
What were you gonna say? Yeah.
Okay, so how about with your kid? Like, how does that? Are you able to communicate with your son, with your older son,
My oldest.
or do you feel like you're hard on him because that's what you want? You want to be hard because you don't want him to be weak.
Mm.
Maybe a little bit of both. Yeah, maybe a little bit of both. So I'm hard on him. I'm hard on him when it comes to certain things, but I'm not hard enough to where I don't want him to be scared to come to me to talk about anything, right? Like, so I could go ahead and be like, get on him if I think he's just being a little whiny ass, like, fool, like, well, no, we're not doing that. Like, I don't run to your mom. She's calling me to tell me, like, hey, right? But I don't want you to be like, hey, I've never gone through this or whatever it is. Maybe my dad thinks I'm a sissy or whatever. I don't want him to be like scared to come because I don't want him to he doesn't want me to think of him like, oh, you're listening. No, come to me, bro. Like, you could come talk to me, but we're not going to be with the whiny shit. Like, I'm not doing that. Like,
right.
there's a balance I think you could do, me personally.
Yeah.
Do you think these times are softer times, and so they're making softer men?
110%.
Sure.
Yeah,
Like
110%.
It's all about feelings. How are you feeling?
You can't be against somebody. You
what
can't.
the
Yeah.
hell, man?
How did that make you feel, Tom?
Tom.
It made me feel sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
yeah, like you can't. Like,
Who gives a fuck?
yeah, who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care.
At the end of the day, I tell my kids it's all about results.
Yeah.
It don't matter all that shit. At the end of the day, it's the bottom line, man.
Yeah.
Really. Either getting it done or you're not. Well, if you went back to, at the household and taking care of your family and everything, you're either doing it or you're not.
Yeah.
You're either providing and being there for them and doing everything and getting them to what they need to be and doing everything and being a dad to be available to them, or you're not, man. You're absent and you're slacking and you're fucking dropping the ball.
We were hurting feelings on purpose. I mean, that's why we were hurting feelings on purpose to build you up. I hurt your feelings. Now how are you gonna bounce? How are you gonna bounce through that?
Now you can get.
Are you gonna cry
You
because
are
you hurt your
ugly.
feelings, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. Like, you see, like I tell my kid all the time when I go and I see anything, like we're watching TV, for example, and then a kid's on there crying about something, he'll look at me like this, and I'm like, see, and he's like looking at me like, Dad.
Do you think that was your grandpa ever like that with you? Because like in Latino homes or Mexican home, it's like you see the chubby kid in the family, and the family purposely calls him gordo, which means fat. Like, but it's a term of endearment. But if you look at it now, that really isn't a term of endearment. Like, we grew up like calling each other names, being mean to each other,
Yeah,
like
big ass nose, yeah, you know what I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Like, you just got taught that's the way you guys. That's where we were brought up. Like, it's not. It's like it's love, and it's not. I'm trying to hurt your feelings, and I'll punch you. I hope
you got
up.
like the dark girl in the family, and you call her that, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, what's her name?" And you're like, you tell it what it is. If you realize you can't call them negrita, like that's a mean name, And she gets older, and she's like, "Wait, you guys just called me the dark one. Like, that's not, it's not nice, but that's what we do." Like, my brother used to call Seth Little Joto, like, come here, Joto. Well, Seth got to a point where he realized what it was. You let your brother call me that? And I was like, well, because it was like a nickname.
Yeah, hey, I would have been mad at that one too.
But it was just like, it was when he was real little. Like, that was Dave's little nickname, but that's how it is. But it's also made them stronger, right? It's made us stronger. We said these mean things to each other, these hurtful things, but we've gotten through it. And I feel like today's generation, these kids are so much softer, and the girls are becoming stronger than the men. And I see it firsthand. And I'm like, but why? Like, is it because there's like really nothing going on? Like, our uncles went to war. Like, my grandpa went to war, physically went to war, right? They're not really doing that anymore. You don't see it. There's no depression. There's nothing like that. Everything is just given to everybody today. So now, so then how is the suicide rate in men higher than it's ever been?
because they know they're not performing at that level and they're not getting to where they need to be. And the stress is so big because they know that that's what's expected of them and they just can't get there because they are weak now. Because we've lifted the bar off of them, because we've helped them. And then the parents go back to when the parents were always wanted a better life for their kids, right, than what we had, right? But now what they're doing is they want an easier life. So now by creating an easier life, now they're weaker.
Well, there's
right?
no repercussions either.
They're weaker.
You know what I mean? Like no repercussions or
They take half the
label. You
weight.
can't label anything. There's not. You're not
You get
a
a
guy.
trophy anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Even
There's no
though you lost.
repercussions. There's no nothing.
You
Yeah,
suck, but you got a
everyone
trophy.
wins. No, you got blown out by 62 points every single game.
Yeah.
Like you lost
Yeah.
horribly.
Hey.
Like,
Yes.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's
You are not good.
yeah. That's
He
it.
said I'm not
That's it. He
good.
said I'm not good. Now I'm gonna go here and cry and.
Yaya's
man.
like, I'm gonna be quiet right now. You two are on the bomb.
That it is. But see, like, so me and Tom, we're gonna go shoot the shit. That's how we're gonna talk, right? Where maybe now kids nowadays that they're talking about like completely different things. It's now society is like there's no repercussions for anything. So or you can't label somebody. I can't be, hey, what's up, bro? I'm not a bro. I identify as this, and that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I'm like, well, you have a beard like me. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I seen you bench 325, dog. Your name's not Layla. You know what I mean? It's Leo. You know what I mean? Like, so now it's just like, it's, I don't know, man. It's just a whole different time. It's a whole different time. Stuff that we didn't think a big deal. Didn't think it was a big deal. Calling each other names, doing all hurting feelings. Like that built you up, hardened you. So when you went to school and someone called you a big idiot and you're like, I get called worse at home, dog. There's nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Now you do that. Now you're going to the principal. Now today they call you that. You're going to the principal's office. You're getting called. This person's feelings hurt. Now he feels threatened. It's just a whole different. It's I don't know.
And that's another thing is the whole bullying thing. I'm like, were they really bullied, or did you need to be told you were ugly?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Like you had
you
hey,
got some
man.
ugly confidence going on.
Like I don't know. It's like, okay. Mexico. We're talking about our households. We got hit. We got something where we got we did something wrong. We got hit. Some other people didn't hit their kids or whatever. They didn't need to. My grandpa had never hit me maybe twice my whole life. That's because I was scared enough of him through his words and through his demeanor. Like I'm not going that route. Like that. Like,
And
you know
you're
what I mean?
bigger than your grandpa.
Yeah, but man, that's a whole different kind of strength right there, man. That's a whole different kind of strength. Scared of my mom,
Yeah.
like everybody. You know what
You
I
ain't
mean?
scared to tell her you ain't working though.
Yeah, huh?
You tell her you're not. You don't answer her when she asks you if you're working. You ain't
Man,
that.
nah, not now, not now. No.
No, I'm grown now. I
Yeah,
pay my own
nah.
bills now.
Yeah, we grown now. You can try me if you want. Nah.
If she showed up at your door, you'd be like, Marie, get the door.
Hey, I would be like,
your
yeah, I'm going to the
mother-in-law's
bathroom.
here.
I go to the bathroom. I'm gonna get that door.
Your mother-in-law's here, Marie.
I don't want no smoke right now. None.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming on. June is men's mental health month. I know we had a lot of laughs and a lot of jokes, but at the end of the day, I really do hope that anybody that listens, if you do need help, reach out. Guy, girl, doesn't matter. Reach out to your friends, your family members. I know for me, what hit my household, my dad's household, my uncles. I don't, as much as we've laughed, it is a serious subject, but I do hope and pray that everybody and anybody that needs help does get it. I really appreciate the both of you coming on here because you guys are very strong men and you guys don't really cry about a flat tire, but even coming on and talking about it, people would have never done it before. It's barely coming out now. Thank you guys very much. Solomon.
Hi.
Hi.
Good conversation.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought Yaya touched on some really good points. She's got my award for the day.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really I'm so impressed by that where she said that because again, I've not been married, not even.
Well, if I could take a minute, and I'll tell you the reason it touched me, because this is really the big thing. As men, we have to be strong, right? Now, you're right. Both you women are right. What happens when a man gets to the point where there's a break, right? They're typically, before they talk to you, they're going to do some things that are just self-destructive, that like the drinking, like the obsessive other stuff. It's a woman's job at that point to go from being participant in the marriage to being partner in the marriage and starting to decipher those actions in the man and understand that these are things wrong. And then it's about approaching it the right way. And I think Yaya got lucky in the fact that her husband sort of came to her and said some things and she was able to respond. But I think that's where the partnership part of this thing comes in. And I think it's a difficult thing because, we all just want to be happy. But when your man is breaking down and for you to put yourself in a position to say, how can I help you? That's like the biggest thing. Not, oh, now you're no longer providing for me, so now I'm going to go do something else. And I think that's the biggest thing because you can't get to that point. And so I really appreciate that about her. And that comes with 20 years of marriage as well. That's not something that necessarily will happen when you've been together a few years or whatever. You start thinking, well, shit, I'm going to be out the door or go do something else. But when you develop that strength like that, that's the way it really should be. So I applaud you there.
But I also think in your culture, meaning like your mom, your sisters, your husband, the word divorce doesn't exist either. So it's like
It doesn't. I mean, it's happened like in my immediate family, it's happened, but we didn't like judge it or anything. But even then, like I was gonna bring up like my mom. So my dad got killed when I was 2 years old. So my mom started dating my stepdad, and when he came into our home, she said, "These are my kids. You don't touch them. You don't talk to them. Nothing." So then I was only 7 years old. My dad passed away when I was 2. And then 5 years later, when he came into our home, like, that she was dating him and stuff, she said, like, these are my kids.
and he was okay with that?
He, like,
Yeah, that's
I
my
was,
question.
that's hard. I feel like that's super hard because I was still young. Like, he could still have been, like, he was a father figure, but closer, I feel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he's an amazing man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my sister and my brother, they were older. I think it was like 10 and 12 or something like that. So they had my dad. Like
Oh.
I don't remember my dad. I was 2
Yeah.
years old. So to me, it's like, what if she would have said like, help me raise my kids, or it's okay to give me your input? Do you know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
my dad's no longer here.
Yeah.
So it's different when your dad is here rather when
Right.
he's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's where I kind of was like, yes, like the whole strong mom that like I had, but this man had a say so, and he still does. I remember one time I was like in high school, and he asked me to go to the DMV for him. Girl, I was up literally like at 7 a.m, ready to go because he had never asked me to do anything for him.
Oh.
So it's crazy,
Yeah.
Now it's like my kids, that's grandpa, everything. Like
Yeah.
my oldest, his middle name's his name, everything. But I just feel like,
Wow.
what about him?
What if she would have gave him that respect from way back?
Yes.
He
Yeah.
was a good man.
He's a
He
good
wanted
man.
to do
Like-
all these things for you
Yes.
and be there for you.
So what did he go
Wow.
through? Like, what did he feel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Nobody
not
asks
be able-
men.
Yeah, like not be
Sucks.
able to like say like anything. I used to ditch from school, go back home. Probably, I don't know, we were probably smoking weed in the backyard. He's seen us a few times and never said shit. Not to us or to my mom. What if he would have like, I don't know, told my mom I used to take off in her truck. He never said anything.
He said to say nothing.
Right.
I
You
ain't
said
saying
don't say nothing, so
Yep.
Saying.
she crashed the truck because you told me not to tell you
Mhm.
nothing.
Yes. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it goes back to like, this man says no words. Like till this day, like he says hi, like very, like we're good. Everything's good. He's my dad, but it's crazy because I'm
Go-
like, how could he not have expressed or opened up?
Because
he's
she
got-
said.
Right.
that
So
had
you
to
wonder
be
why the
hard.
guys are quiet, why they don't say
That's
nothing,
what
don't
I'm saying.
communicate. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But he's also that old fashioned Mexican, right?
Yes.
I handle business, the bills are paid, and everyone's safe, and there's food on the table. Let me
That's all
just
you
have my
need.
Modelo over here. Leave me alone.
Yeah. So like he comes home, he's in the backyard. We already know he's chilling in the back with whoever's there and they're drinking or whatever. But it's crazy because it's true. Like men are men and they can't speak up on what they feel because that's not manly like or whatever,
Mhm.
But it's crazy.
Yeah, especially in our culture, it's
Mhm.
very much that men don't express themselves at all. But then you have the women in the kitchen all metiche the whole time,
Like,
talking about everything and everybody.
Yeah.
So it's you got the exact.
Yeah. My roommate was saying that, like, man, I don't want to fucking know. I don't know what he's involved in, what
Yeah.
he's got going on. If I don't know, like,
We hear a
Better.
siren and we're looking
Better
through the
for
window.
me.
Hey, who the hell's yelling outside?
Yeah, go go sweep outside and see what's going on down
I
the
was
street.
I don't
I
care.
don't want to know.
I said, I don't care. She's like, you never asked. No, because I don't care. It doesn't involve me. I don't care.
I need to know where, when, how, why.
She-
My kids are like, I don't know. They had on blue shoes. Well, what kind of blue shoes were they? Cortezes, Vans? I don't know. They were on their feet.
Yeah, it's true, and it's so crazy.
But you
Yeah.
respect him very much as a man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So would
100%.
you
Like,
say you know how they say girls marry their fathers?
Uh-huh.
Would you say you married your dad then, meaning that's how your husband is?
Interesting.
How is my husband? Yeah, I can kind of say. Ugh. Well, yeah, because he's very quiet. My dad's very quiet. Like he is very, very quiet, into himself, hardworking man, and that's it. Like there's nothing else you're gonna get out of him. Like he's just,
Yeah.
But he is the person that if I call him and say like, "Hey, I need this," oh, it's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's never been that way because we're not used to that.
Yeah.
But my relationship with him is a lot closer than my two older siblings.
Because they were older.
They were older.
Yeah.
So me, like I said, my firstborn.
How's your husband and your dad then?
Oh, they're besties. Like 100%.
And they probably drink together
Oh yeah.
and don't ever talk about emotions.
I don't know.
She's like, I have
I'm
no
like,
idea.
I don't
I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm in the kitchen being Matisse.
I'm trying to listen.
And they're in the
I
back.
can't, they're not
Yeah.
talking loud enough. They
Yeah.
fucking whisper. Yeah, no. And my son is super close to him. Like crazy.
That's dope,
Like
though.
that's his
that
grandpa,
is. That
Yeah.
really
Heck
is.
yeah.
He
So-
stepped up.
Oh, big time. Like 100%. Like I'm like, I respect the man 100%. So now it got brought up. So my mom has 2 plots. Like her plot.
And is
my
it
dad's
going to be
there.
him? Oh, your dad's in
My
the plot.
dad's in one, and she still has space for another.
So for your stepdad/dad though, right?
No.
She's gonna be next to your real dad.
You said original.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, it
original,
was
really,
original,
because
yeah.
he's
Yes.
So
stepped
she's
up
going to
and
be
been
married
that.
to her first husband, which is your
She
biological
never
father.
remarried my
Your-
dad.
Your dad.
Oh.
My stepdad. She never remarried. Her last name is still Alonso. She never remarried him.
Wow.
She never remarried.
Your stepdad
Is
is so
man.
hard, such a man. Like really,
Yee.
like step it up to be able to take it, to hear it like that, and
Yeah.
to
I'm like
see
you.
her
That's
not
so
be,
hard.
not change her name, and to see her all this stuff. Man, that's a hard ass.
lot.
We need to
That's
have
a
a whole
lot.
episode.
I want to be like
because
him.
I have all 500 questions
That's a
right now.
freaking-
Like,
That's a
That's a
lot.
tough
So
dude.
it's crazy. So
Yeah.
he asked, well, my son, we had like a discussion over this where my husband told my son, you need to watch what you say because at the end of the day, that's your mom's dad you're talking about. He says,
Oh.
that's not my grandpa. It is your fucking grandpa.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But he says, my grandpa is my grandpa. My grandpa that's dead is your dad. So I don't know, like, and I'm okay with it because he didn't meet my dad,
yeah.
but it's still my dad.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's weird.
Yeah.
So he asked my mom, he said, Grandma, when you die, you're not getting buried with my grandpa Jose. You're getting buried with my grandpa Martin. And my mom's like, no, that's my husband. Like, your grandpa Jose is my husband.
Yeah, so your son kind of has a relationship with your stepdad. It's kind of like how you didn't really have a relationship with your dad.
So
like
he's
he passed
definitely
away,
second over there.
right?
When we were talking about the
and
man
then,
needs a
and then you
preferred-
had a
he
you had a
ain't the first.
relationship with your stepdad more, obviously, because
Oh.
and now your son doesn't have a relationship with
My dad.
because
but-
obviously,
Right.
so it's like
So I can't, but that's why I'm saying, like, I've never told my son anything like different because my mom, what if she would have allowed us to have the best relationship
Right.
with him? She didn't.
Yeah.
Though. So why would I take that from him?
Yeah.
Do you know what I
do you
mean?
feel some type of way about it, like now
Like that she did it?
that she didn't like allow you,
Yeah,
well,
because
allow
I
him to have.
I
a-
could have,
you could have
I
better-
could have called him dad
Mhm.
because I was 2 years old. I
Yeah.
didn't have a dad.
Mhm.
So think about it. I didn't have a father figure.
You got robbed.
Yeah.
I got
You kind of got
Yeah.
robbed.
So it's kind
Do
of.
you call him dad now or what do you call
No,
him?
Morton.
Dang.
Really?
Oh man, that guy's
Like,
taking some
how
shit.
could I?
He didn't-
My mom never
Right?
allowed us, and
Yeah.
That's a
now
lot.
trip out on this. So him and my mom both had property, and it was under my name and my sister's name. And he like legitly said like, you know, that's for you guys. Figure out, you know, how you guys are going to take care of us with that property. So think about it.
He's
like,
a hard.
That's like the most selfless guy that I've ever
who
heard
does
of.
that?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So to me, I'm
But
like,
you might not realize that we don't know his childhood, right? Maybe your mom just gave him a family and peace, and he just loved being not taken care of, but taken care of as far as he had a house, he had kids, there was food, right? We don't know what men go through. So maybe that's all he needed was just a place to call home.
yeah, but we go back to the same thing. Like, how did she not allow him to?
He just shut up and took it.
Like how
Straight
did
up.
He not allow,
And then,
allow
yeah,
him to
that's a
say
guy that
anything?
ain't going to say nothing. You wonder, why is he closed off? Because this is what I got delivered, and I just took it, shut up,
Yep.
and went trucking
And
right
they've been
ahead.
together. I mean, I'm 36 years old.
And he doesn't have any like kids
He
or
has other
anything.
kids.
And
He
were
has
they?
other kids.
So how was that with your mom then?
Okay, so this is the thing. Like,
Yeah, we didn't do that in the episode.
he was.
We do not.
Yeah.
Let's stop. Hold on. We do. Let's stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's stop because
I'm like,
Whoa.
that is a lot.
Damn.
Like, and I really want to get into that because
Yeah. That's
there's.
pretty
I
good.
want to get into an episode of, and I'm going to touch on this real quick because we got to go. Is family secrets. Like
Ugh.
I
Oh,
supposedly
gosh.
have a sister that I didn't know about till I was older, but nobody thought to tell the kids. Like it's like you, like your mom didn't give you an option, right? So you just here's this man. Well, can I call him dad? No, he's nothing, but he's here. Like parents make these decisions not thinking about kids, and parents do dirt and don't think how it's going to affect the kids later. So I want to have a whole episode on that because look at me. He's like, yeah.
Man, that
He's-
has to be a 3-hour episode.
yeah, that's what. So we're gonna come. We're bringing you back. 'Cause I want to know that
That one-
story.
that is a
Yeah,
good
that
story.
is a good story. All right. Well, thank you, Solomon. We're really saying goodbye this time.
Sorry, I know.
Well,
It was your fault.
I started it.
You started it.
Yeah.
Please watch on YouTube, listen on Spotify and Apple Podcast. We all have Instagrams. Thank you very much, and until next time, bye.
Peace out.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.